BBC Radio Cumbria.
With Mike Parr.
BBC Radio Cumbria.
So I notice unemployment figures are at their highest since 1996. In Cumbria, there are nearly 9,000 people out of work, with an average of 10 people chasing every job. The job market has never been tougher. So, how do you cut through? James Caan is a business entrepreneur and former dragon in the den, of course. In his new book, Get the Job You Really Want, he makes a number of suggestions for getting yourself to the front of the queue. James, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Now, wasn't Steve interesting, my God, at 8 o'clock in the morning to hear that strong voice? I thought he was incredible.
It's not easy singing, sitting down at 10 to 8 on a Tuesday morning.
Yeah, whatever you do, please don't ask me to do that. Because I think the only phrase I could think about on that one is "I'm out."
Good answer. Give us a top tip then for cutting through and getting the job you want.
I think one of the things that I noticed when I was writing the book is, over the last kind of few years, I've placed thousands of people into jobs because I'm still very actively involved with the recruitment business. And the thing that I consistently realise is people's preparation when they go in for an interview. And I think if you're looking at sort of social media and the internet, to be able to ensure that before you go in, that you sort of maybe Google the person that you're going to be interviewed by, you research the company that actually you're going for the interview, that you understand the role and the responsibility. I mean, I'll give you an example. I met a finance director last week for one of my companies I was interviewing for the final interview, and I asked him whether he'd managed to download the set of accounts for the company that he was being interviewed for, and he sort of looked at me in a bit of a glaze. Now, it's quite easy. It cost £1 or £3 to download a set of accounts from Companies House. And had he have just literally invested that money and just prepared himself, because he would have understood a lot more about the company's finances before he came for the interview. But it's just something that people don't consider doing. So my main focus of tip really is got to be planning and preparation, so that when you walk through that door, you have to be as credible as you possibly can be.
That is absolutely astonishing. Should you go knocking on doors, James, rather than waiting for the job adverts to appear?
I mean, I know when I first started my business, I knocked on, a huge amount of doors. And I think at the end of the day, when you want a job and you want a particular job in a particular industry at a particular level, at a particular salary, you have to realise that it's not going to be easy. And therefore, to a large extent, you have to do whatever you can to maximise on your opportunity. And therefore, if that means calling on companies that look for people like yourself, then why not? If that's going to get you the opportunity, I would do whatever it takes.
Yeah, and people keep telling me as well, it's all about your CV now, not just the qualifications you've got, but the other stuff you might have done.
Yes, absolutely.
Outside work.
I think employers are looking for that kind of holistic approach to somebody, because a lot of success in business is not just about the job spec, but it's how you integrate in the workplace, how you get on with the people around you. And therefore, where you're able to sell those attributes through the CV, I do think they make a difference, because I think social skills are just as valuable as being able to specifically, type or do whatever the actual qualifications of the job are.
Yeah, and is it still really worth going to university these days?
Well, it is. I mean, at the end of the day, I think, there are no guarantees in life. And I think, if things go wrong, I think having a university degree to fall back on must be far more valuable than not having one. I ended up going to university at the age of 42 because I felt actually that I'd missed out because I didn't go to university. So I certainly think that where people in society have the choice of doing a degree, they shouldn't miss that opportunity.
Yeah, but all up, you could run up a bill of 50 grand, couldn't you, over 3 years, living costs included?
I think you're right, but at the end of the day, if that's going to be the 3 years that shapes your life, that gives you the platform, that enables you to build a future and get onto that career ladder, then it must be an investment worth taking. There are thousands and thousands of people who come to the United Kingdom for the education that we provide here, because they do recognise that it is a very valuable platform to have. And if you're in a position where you can justify it, then absolutely.
And do you use Twitter, Facebook, social media?
I think it's called all of the above.
Yeah, all of it. James, pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much indeed for that.
Absolutely. You take care. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
James Caan, then, former Dragon in the Den. His new book called Get the Job You Really Want, full of tips for getting yourself to the front of the jobs market queue.